Hello, 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 and welcome to the Cup. The Cup. See, it's not even TV, but it says TV because we didn't change it. But welcome to the Cup, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and we can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. And today I am drinking on some water. Yeah, it's fresh, it's cold, it's ready to go. I just went and got it because I was really thirsty. So, got some water. Hydration is important. So, get your water on. And I also have my cup mug. Yeah. And you can get your cup mug at monogcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. But there are some, and you know them, so you know what to do when you get ready and get back to normal. Get your cup merge. Period. Thank you.
Well, I'm David Healy, and I don't have a cute intro, but I do have a cute shirt. And I don't think I've worn this shirt on the podcast yet, so I'm excited to debut it. It is one of our faves from Drag Race France Season 2. It is the one and only Cookie. Just Cookie.
Just Cookie.
Just Cookie. No last name.
None whatsoever. I'm so glad I was muted when
Cookie
you first said it.
charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent.
Because when you first put it up, I was muted, so I was thankful because I yelled it out like, "Oh yeah, Cookie!"
I actually saw Cookie or hosting in Paris when I was there, and I wanted to meet her and I wanted to buy a shirt there, but I was not able to. She was very busy. But now I've got a shirt. It's just not signed by her. But I'm just drinking on some water right now.
And hola, I am Eduardo, the Mexican representative of this podcast. I am here to talk shit and get a hit. I'm also drinking water today because I am taking care of myself because Lord knows we all need it. Lord knows we all need to take care of ourselves today. Lord. Anyways, yeah.
And hi, I am River, your Brazilian correspondent here on the Cup. And today I am also just drinking some water, and I picked my ER mug because it's fitting and it's cute. So
mood and cute, and cute.
Fave also for me. I love
yours.
Yeah, same.
Love. Well, my dad called me Pooh, so you know what my favorite character is. Here,
Rabbit.
Absolutely, you guessed correctly. We are here to talk about Drag Race Thailand episode 4, and it was the episode that happened, and we're going to talk about it because it went on, and things happened, so we got things to talk about. But before we do any of that, I'm going to say, hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Do all the things. Hit the buttons to let you and to say you support us because we appreciate it so much. We're still inching towards more goals, so y'all know what to do. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep getting people to follow us, and so we can build up our channel. We are a part of a network, so we do have 3 other channels that you can go and support as well, and those channels are as well as ticking up, and we want to continue to grow this network. So go down to the link tree, hit all the channels, all the links, click them, subscribe, do all those things. Our audio podcast links are down there as well, so you can check us out on the go, as well as our Patreon, so you can get early access and exclusive content across all 4 channels. All those things are down there. We appreciate all of your support. Oh, and check out our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Do all those things. Now, y'all, Drag Race Thailand happened, and they come back into this workroom after this last lip sync, and Miss Caramite is gone, and everybody's like, Cara's gone.
Gone and immediately forgotten.
Immediately forgotten.
Immediately.
I was like, why does this feel so cold-blooded? Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
They were like,
no one cares.
No, like she left this nice long message on the mirror, and I was like, "Oh, she took up the whole mirror space to make her message." Got it, because I would do the same thing. And she was just like saying such nice things, and they barely wanted to read it. It felt like to me they were like, "Oh, Kara,
Spicy was into it because it said "sent home by winner."
sitting home by the winner," and she's like, "Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. I love it. She thinks I'm gonna win." I'm like, "She
I'm
thinks
gonna,
you're gonna win."
I'm gonna say false news there, fake news.
Fake news, as we would say. Because
I
I'm
agree.
like,
At this point, I would be
Spicy,
shocked if Spicy is the winner.
baby,
Yeah, I agree.
I would eat a hat if Spicy won this season. I'd be like, on this podcast, I would just start chewing. But I'm like, girl, okay. But yeah, good on you. But Godlin, why?
Lord.
Why do you have to be so shady? Godlin, I'm talking to you. Come, step to the mic. Step up. Look here, Godlin. I'm talking to you real quick. Why? Did you have to be that shady? What was the reason? What was the reason? Like, Colin was in the confessional, like, "Oh, Cara, I'm so sad. I just, you know, she's gone." I was like, why? Why? Love to
Well,
be
she's
sick,
finally
though.
there.
Colin, do you really think you're here just shading Kara like that?
Do you think you are here? Do you think you are here?
Oh,
She is. She definitely is.
and the shade was real. I was like, God, that's so funny and messed up at the same time. But
I was living, for sure.
absolutely. But
This whole episode, she was good in confessionals. This episode.
yeah.
Yes.
I was like, okay, narrator of the episode, got you. Love
She is
that.
here. She has arrived.
Yeah.
Godlin has said, "I'm finally here." Yes, Pangina, I am here. I am here. But it was okay. So they talking about that, like I said, easily forgotten. They move on very quickly to how Spicy might be the lip sync assassin of the season. She's like, "I don't want to be the assassin. And I want to be done. I don't want to be in the bottom anymore." And I was like, "Step up your game, boo, so you won't be hurt by that." Yeah. But
Yeah.
then they congratulated the winner of the episode. It was like, "You ain't down, CP. Oh my God. Oh my God. You did." And she was like, "Thank you. Thank you. Thank you." Looking like still in that drag that I'm still like, "Who are you?"
Wait a
It's
minute.
so weird. Oh,
Yeah.
I was just sitting there like, I don't even. That is not ZP. Like, who are you? It was so weird. Like, you know, please get out of drag because you're freaking me out right now. Like, you really are messing with my mental right now. And I'm like, I don't need that in my life right now. I need less confusion, more just straightforwardness. And right now, you do not look like ZP. You look like Fred. And I don't know who
Looks
Fred
like
is.
creepy.
Oh,
Creepy.
yes, you
Creepy
look
uncle.
like very
Yeah.
creepy. Exactly.
Creepy
I was
ZP.
like, please get out of drag. Please, can we just get to the point where everybody's getting out of drag? Because this is
Police take off this damn wig. What is going on?
it's creeping me out. It was freaking me out. I was like, freaky,
I
creepy.
think I also noticed that we are pronouncing her name wrong.
It's not ZP.
It's CP, like an S.
ZP.
That's
Like,
how everybody's saying it in the episode. I'm like, oh, why did it take me 4 episodes to realize it's CP?
oh, I'm sorry, CP, but it's still a
We're
creepy and freaky
Creepy
and
CP.
creepy CP. But
Police take off the
they
power.
finally, please,
Oh, but they also,
finally.
I don't know who said it, but someone mentioned that CM's outfit was not on theme. And they were discussing that while they were still in the drag
Yeah,
from last episode.
yeah, they were
Which
talking
I
about.
agree. I kind of enjoyed seeing that conversation because I was like, okay, I'm not crazy.
You feel validated.
Yes.
Well, I feel
Yeah, same.
validated by CM's explanation for it. So,
Sure. Sure.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, from
You all
what
just
I
don't get it.
look,
I
don't
know.
get it.
And what about it?
Look, I wasn't here last week, but I did hear the comments that you all made about Sim's outfit, and so I was like, I get it. And with her explanation, I was like, okay, I get it. Would I like it? I don't know, but I get it. I got it, understood it. I was like, yeah, she's a sugar mama with, with sugar daddy vibes. Like she's sugar daddy with sugar mama vibes, and I get it. I didn't mind it. I
Sugar
think I would have
parent.
been in the middle.
Did you say Sugar Karen?
Sugar parent.
Sugar parent.
She was mommy
like,
and daddy.
Karen.
Sugar parent.
Not a sugar cane.
Not a
Sugar guardian.
parent.
Whatever. I don't know.
I mean, sugar parent because she had both daddy, baby, sugar family vibes. I don't know. I
Sugar
don't know.
parental guardian.
Oh.
Right.
Okay. Anyway,
That.
she explained it. And they were like, and she was just like, I don't care if y'all get it or not. This is what I did. And it is what it is. I'm like, work. Stand
And she
behind
wasn't in the bottom for it. So
Okay, right. So it is what it is.
it's fine.
But thankfully, they finally get out of drag, and we don't have to see creepy CP anymore. And coming to the workroom next day, same thing. No mention of Kara. She's forgotten, like we said.
Yes.
But they do come in talking. Everybody is talking about some movies check, some pussy check.
Period.
Everybody's doing it.
As I said before the
That
podcast,
line.
Benzie is a philosopher. The words that come out of her mouth, Lord, I need them tattooed across my forehead. I don't know. I love it.
I mean, when you have one of the better verses in the song, then it's memorable. Everybody knows it, and they can quote it. And that is the one thing. Like I didn't know. I watched that episode after watching this episode.
Oh.
So I did it backwards. So I had no idea what what that was from, or where she put it in the song. I knew it was from the girl group part. And so when I went back and watched the girl group, I was like, all right, still it holds up. Best verse of the song for me.
It saved my life.
It saved.
It changed my life.
Yes.
Am I gonna remember it tomorrow? Yes.
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 Why not? And here's the thing. I don't know anybody who doesn't want to make sure that their boobs are checked and that their pussy is checked. Like you have to know this stuff. So boom, boom, check. Okay, I'm ready to go.
I mean, I do that all the time. I'm like, boobs check? No. Pussy check? No. Good. I'm still me.
Still who I am. Nobody came in and made you transgender in your sleep. Nobody did.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, am I missing something? It's where's the pussy? Should I have one? Is it? Should I get one? Should I buy one down the store? Should I purchase one?
Day.
I don't know.
I check it every day. Be like, boobs, check, still here. Check, boom, I'm ready to go. Ready to go, baby. It's all here. But they came in and they did all that. It was great. I love that moment. They congratulated CP again for her win. She had the badge on, so she was like, "I joined the badge club with Frankie and with Miss Safira over here. Like, I'm here. She's ready." And everybody's. Then it got a little tense for a second. Little tense because people were trying to
questions, very specific questions.
Yes.
At very specific moments.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I should have some
very
popcorn.
suspicious.
Yeah, like they asked what were they asking Gigi? Like if she had to lip sync?
If you had to lip sync against someone, who would you want to lip sync against?
She said CM.
That's shady because it's like, who do you think is the worst lip syncer? Is the question,
right?
Like that's the question.
I mean, if she's confident, she could pick somebody that would be a challenge.
Or she would pick someone that she knows has a very different style of lip syncing than she does. That also would make sense.
Right. Is that foreshadowing though? Like I wrote that down. I'm like, why are they showing this?
That's what I did too. I was like, are they?
I was like, is this going to be a bottom 2 this episode?
Yeah.
Maybe
still
next
could
week.
be at some point. Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. But
Mm-hmm.
we did have them going, like you said, those pointed questions, and I was like, ooh. But it got interrupted because the mini challenge happened, and
It
um,
definitely happened.
yeah, that
Yeah.
happened. It was go getting quick 15-minute drag to be a glamour gorgon, and I was like, what the heck is a glamour gorgon? But I
She
come
kind
to
of
find out,
explained that it's like
Glamicorn.
a worker,
yeah,
Yeah,
right?
it's a laborer.
Yeah.
labor.
Yeah.
I guess a corn or whatever the corn part of it is a laborer. So it's like a glamorous laborer. Also,
Yeah.
like speaking of glamorous, I think we might have to start adding Pangina's out of drag looks to our
Yeah,
slideshow because
Pretty
Girl.
please at this
girl.
point.
Look, y'all keep talking, I'll find it because
it
And
was so good.
the
I'm like,
makeup for the
Yeah.
matching.
mhm.
I live. So good.
Yeah. Not only is Pangina the best dressed host, like in drag, but the best dressed host out of drag too, or in boy drag, if you want to call it that. I'm just like, you are doing such unusual things. And honestly, I think we talked about it last week, how there's room for drag kings on these shows. I think Pangina is showing a shining example of, oh, here's how you can dress masculine presenting, but still make it drag with a capital D. So I'm here for it.
I feel like the only host that could maybe compete, but I don't even think, like, my second place wouldn't even, it's not even close, but I think it would be Tyga,
Oh,
maybe,
okay.
like out of drag looks
Okay.
Well,
for the work
yeah,
room,
because
I
she
maybe.
thought of
always.
Brooklyn.
Oh, well,
Oh,
yeah.
Brooklyn in drag, like for the runway, one of my favorites for
But
sure.
even out of
But
drag,
out
I
of
think.
drag, she
Okay.
has some good looks that I like, but a lot of them are good, but it like lack a little interest. It's just well put together, but it's not interesting necessarily. So
Right.
that's why Pangina is my favorite, because there's always a lot to look at, and I love to have a lot to look at in fashion.
Tyga. The whole time you said Tyga, I was picturing Greg. Like I was going to the wrong
No.
Queen of the
Oh,
Universe winner. But no, you
remember she was
100% Tyga.
coordinating her
You're right.
out of like her workroom outfits with the runway, so I thought that was really cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Like now that I have the correct person in my mind. I watch too many drag shows, in case anybody was wondering what's going on with my
Yeah.
brain.
There's
Too
too
many
many drag.
too many names, too many looks.
But yes, they do have to get in 15-minute quick drag, and they will get 3 shots. They said it's 2 minutes, but 3 shots. And I'm like, does it really take 3 minutes to take 3 pictures? Or 2 minutes to take 3 pictures? I didn't understand that part. And sure enough, like we watched them take 1, 2, 3 of everybody. And there was like confetti being thrown. Did you all have standouts for best poses? Because I had 2 pretty strong standouts.
I had one. Benze, to me, I liked the way she styled herself. And I liked the way that she was posing. And I also liked Gigi. I didn't really necessarily like Gigi's look. But I loved the way that she was modeling. That was I mean, I think she is a professional model, no? I don't know. If she's not, she should be.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, for me, was Spicy the last one that came up?
I
I
think
think so.
If it was Spicy because whoever had the jam
she was
basket with,
carrying the thing. Yeah.
yeah, Spicy for me was the standout because
Well,
of the
I'm glad you all said those because I have 2 other people. I thought ZP was really good. It was very impressive. Like ZP just is starting to like just become that person that I'm like, oh, you can do everything. And then the other one for me, I really liked Nane Saphira's posing too. Like especially when she like stuck out her tongue and like dragged her finger down. I was like, okay, work it, girl. And she had the whole like trash bag like type of
Yeah,
look
her
that she
outfit
made,
I
and I
think
thought that
was
was
one
pretty
of my
cool.
favorites. That was
Mhm.
really cool.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't find it in time. I
Um,
still was looking, but it's
that's
okay.
okay.
It's all right. Look,
Maybe for
you
look
guys,
over here.
maybe if we look over here, we'll find it. That's
Hmm.
what we'll do. Because I can just screenshot it, but I just didn't do it in time. But anyway, um, so we do go through the things, and I agree with y'all choices for who had the better
Hmm.
looks. But the winner of the mini challenge was Nani Safira. Good on her. I love the trash
Yes,
bag
sir.
look of it all.
Mhm.
It was cute. It was cute. So I wasn't
Cute.
mad at that.
When you can look
And
good wearing a trash bag, work.
period. Work.
Work.
And you can say this is trash, and it would actually be trash.
And it
Tyron
is.
is
Bag.
speaking.
Hmm.
Work. But she won, and her reward for winning was she get to pick the roles for these first acting challenge that they had in Thailand season 3, and it was a I'm not going to say this name is
Oh, I want you
long.
to say it so badly.
I am not going to say that.
I
You
didn't
could
even write
say
it
it.
down because I couldn't figure it out.
It
It
was
starts with
so
lack, LAK, and there's lots of L words in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because look here, if the queens couldn't even say it, you know I can't say it. So
Mm-hmm.
all I saw was loon something. I don't know.
I
I
don't know
don't
about
know.
the name, but what I did understand is that it was inspired in a type of soap.
Like a
Yeah.
Like,
soap
because
They
opera.
called it a
there are like
mortality play.
different kind of styles of soap operas. Like
Mm-hmm.
Mexican and Brazilian
Yeah.
soap operas are both huge, but very different. So I
Yes.
think it's kind of like their like the Thai genre or style of soap opera. I think
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
that's what I got. I don't know.
That's what I
Yeah.
got too. It was a
It's
soap
By the
a
opera
way,
of some kind.
I did find the name of the thing, and I could try to say it if you guys.
do
Go
it.
ahead. Go ahead.
Do
Try
it.
it.
Okay, so Ban Lak Luk Let Rot Lai Thailand Loon.
Period.
Mm.
That
Good
sounded very
job.
authentic. That
Now,
sounded
I
very
think.
authentic.
if you speak Thai, please let us know how well Eduardo did in the
Yeah, just tell
comments.
me that I did so badly. I probably did really badly, and I am sorry.
Oh, and if you can explain anything about what this episode or challenge was referencing, so that we can all kind of understand it a little better, we would all appreciate that for sure.
Hmm.
Yes.
They
Well,
they called it a mortality play in the subtitles, so
mhm.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of a mortality play, but
They did
it
mention
was
soap
interesting.
at some point, so I was like, it
Hmm.
got to
Yeah.
be like a soap opera.
Oh,
Which I
maybe it's a
fine.
morality play. Is it a morality play
Yeah,
or
I saw something about more.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know.
Look here, y'all tell us. Y'all know better than us because we don't know. But
I mean, we know what to expect. That is just it's an acting challenge
mhm,
on Drag Race, so it's about overacting,
mhm.
even if it's not a soap opera inspired challenge. Like maybe it being a soap is like overacting, maybe. Um,
maybe.
but that's it.
But we find out that they're doing that, and Nani gets to pick the parts and give everybody the parts. And so they go sit down, and she's trying to be very diplomatic about it. Like, what do you want? What can we get? You know, who wants what? And people said, I want this role. I want this role. But she was like, let me pick my role first.
No,
You know,
somebody
you pick.
told her to pick her
Yeah,
role
you
first.
pick your role
Yeah.
first. Like you should pick your
hmm
role first. Like,
She
girl,
Hmm.
you
wanted an
won.
easy role.
Which I was like,
Maybe she knows
mm,
she's not like the best at this, and she's
that's
like,
what she
okay,
said.
yeah.
Mhm.
But that, I mean, she didn't get like a huge role, but she could have definitely gotten a smaller role
Hmm.
than what she got.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
She was somebody who was there the whole time, like in every scene.
Mhm.
So,
Also, when you're in the first scene and you are not as confident in your acting, that is not a good choice. That is not, you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to be the one setting the tone.
Right.
No. And then if you don't do good or if you are forgettable, you were in the first scene, by the end, nobody's going to remember. It's tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she picks her role, and she gives out everybody's role. Everybody seems happy except Sim didn't like her role. Sim was like, that
Flat.
seems a bit unfair. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but a few of the girls wanted the same role, and I liked that they just
Rock, paper,
did
scissors.
rock, paper, scissors, and that's it. That's it.
No
I like
fighting.
that.
It wasn't a lot of drama. I thought it was gonna be more drama, but it was not drama. Kind
I
of
think
like rock,
the
paper, scissors,
challenge was
lose.
dramatic enough.
Yeah, and long enough. Lord knows it was long.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Was it
So
somebody suggested to Benzadiva, like picking her specific role, which was a 20-year-old.
mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, she's the oldest contestant in here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
It would be funny if she looked the oldest, which she doesn't.
right.
Or
Who
if
does?
she looks
Who
old
does look
at
the
all.
oldest then?
Oh, Robert said, "Ooh, who looks the oldest?"
Say their names.
We all know
Say
who
their
looks the
name.
oldest.
Say their
We all
name.
know.
We know.
Yep. Okay. Well, look, tell me off camera because I don't know. Tell me off camera.
I
Look,
mean, not that I'm not saying looking old is a bad thing. That it is just a factual thing of
Mhm.
how life works,
sometimes you look older.
and
Sometimes
it's
you
fine.
don't.
And it's fine.
Look, and sometimes you don't. You just got good genes. I don't know. But so they picked the parts. Everybody's pretty much alright with whatever they got. Some people not so much, but it is what it is. You can't really fight it at this point. So they go to the rehearsals, and oh, Lord, I was like, this is gonna be a train wreck. The way the rehearsals was going, I was like,
That wasn't even rehearsal though.
but that was the actual thing.
They were filming it. That's why
Yeah.
they
Dress
kept
rehearsal.
cutting.
And I was like, oh no.
Who was it that said cut themselves? Was that
I think it was
Gigi?
Gigi.
Gigi was like, oh no, who
her
cut?
inner Mo heart was coming out? Cut.
Lord.
I was like,
or
what?
Vanjie going, I thank myself. It's very that.
Mm-hmm.
Fully,
I was
yeah.
like, this is wild. This is insane. But I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I was like, I don't know what the finished product gonna be because this right here seems like a hot mess. It
Yeah.
seems like
Yeah,
oh,
I literally wrote down like the taping of this is a hot mess. Bence can't say the name of this house. Gigi just keeps tripping over her words, and CP is super annoyed. What is going on?
Mm-hmm.
I wrote fever dream. That's it.
The one positive takeaway I got from like the stuff they showed us was I was like, okay, Godlin is actually really delivering it. Not only is she really like being animated and like scene stealing, but she's inspiring other people to step up to her level. Like ZP's like, no, I can't let her show us all out. I gotta push myself too. So I thought Godlin was really good in this portion. We'll see if I liked her in the final cut.
Right. It was very interesting. I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this taping or what I call rehearsal, but it just seems so wild and chaotic and just I don't know. I was like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect, but okay. Look, trust the process. Trust the process. And so we do get back after that. All that happens. They go back to the workroom the next day to get ready for the runway. Which the category? Oh well, we'll talk about that. I was about to say it because Pangina said it earlier, but the runway. They getting ready for the runway, and we have some Emmy moments that happen because they started talking about people's first time being in relationships, first time for coming out, all the firsts in your lives. Like when
First
was
time
your
getting
first?
a boob job.
Yeah.
Boobs
First time
check.
checking your boobs check. I'm about to say first time checking for the boobs, first time checking for the pussy, just first time. And there was about a lot of people's firsts. And we got conversations about, was it Benzi's first?
Yeah, CM was asking Benze when she got her boob job, and she said she got it at 17, which is pretty young. And she asked why she got it. and she was explaining like that's just a thing for showgirls. Like I'm a showgirl, and all showgirls have boobs. Like that's part of it. Which was not the answer I was expecting. I was expecting, oh, I'm a trans woman. I want boobs.
Like, yeah.
But she kind of went there eventually. She went like,
Mhm.
yeah, I am a showgirl, but then outside of being a showgirl, I'm also just a girl in the world. So,
Mhm.
I want my boobs. So, we got
Yeah.
there, but it was weird
Maybe
that
it was
the
like
first
her
fling.
like initial motivation, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
maybe she discovered it. I don't know. Who knows?
And
You know.
they asked ZP as well. CP. She
CP.
says that she got them senior year, but she almost didn't because of her boyfriend, and not wanting to like disappoint her boyfriend. I guess her boyfriend, like at that time, she was probably more male presenting and had a
Mm-hmm.
gay
I
boyfriend.
understood the opposite.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
I
understood the
thought it
same.
was the opposite. That like
Oh,
she got boobs because of her boyfriend at the time.
Yeah,
But
that's what
maybe I
I.
understood wrong. I don't know.
That's also
okay.
what I understood. River,
Well,
like I
Oh,
also understood that. Who
okay.
knows?
I have to
okay.
rewatch
You all
that
could be
part.
right then. I might need to rewatch myself. But,
It
Tell us down
happens.
in
She
the
got boobs
comments.
at senior year. That's the point.
Right. She got him senior year. And look, maybe it was for a boy or because of a boy. So either or, the boy was involved. And
Yeah.
she got the boobs job in spite or for the boy. And
Mhm.
she was like, but it's to me, I think I got the interpretation that she got it for the boy. She was male presenting and he wanted her to look more female presenting, so she got the boobs. Which I'm like, okay, girl, do what you do. I love that for you. But
I mean,
I would never
if
do it
she
for a
ended
boy.
up loving it, good for her,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. But don't do plastic surgery for other people but yourselves. If you're gonna do plastic surgery, do it for yourselves, people.
Maybe
But
it was like she already kind of wanted it, and then it was
I
like
think she
extra
did.
motivation to be like,
I
okay,
definitely think she
maybe.
did. I
Yeah.
I mean, you only do stuff like that when you've been thinking about it for a while, and then it's like, and then somebody gives you the confirmation, like you should do that. You're like, I've been thinking
Hmm.
about it, so I'm just gonna go do it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, then we heard who had a girlfriend at one time before they decided to
Short
realize
Gun
that.
was talking
Shotgun.
about her
Okay,
experience.
that was one person I couldn't remember who, but Short Gun talking about before they came and before they came out, they had girlfriends and they were they thought that was just the way to do things, and then one day a boy comforted her, and she felt the warm and
After breaking up
tinglies.
with a girl.
After breaking up with the
Yep.
girl, he felt warm tinglies when old boy comforted him, and he was like, "I felt this, and I liked it. I liked it
Hmm.
a lot. I liked it real good." And so then he was like, "Yep, I'm gay." And I was like, "Period. Know yourself. Be
Honestly,
yourself."
Same.
same, but the opposite way. But same,
Right.
kind of, kind of.
You just know. You find out. You be like, "Ooh, this makes me." All right. I think I like this better. So it is what it is. Shotgun found the men more attractive than the ladies, and that happens. And I get it. Love yourself, be yourself, do you, boo. And
mhm.
that's when he said it was gay. So I was like, okay, work. And so then we literally, that was it. Like those were the conversations.
And I can clarify because I did just check the conversation, and CB does say I didn't want to at first, but I had a boyfriend, and I think I interpreted that completely different. Like I thought the but was like because she pauses for a little bit, so
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was saying I had a boyfriend, and that's why I didn't want to do it. But I think
Mm,
you all are right.
okay.
Cool. So we just go right there. Nope, wrong one. And nope, wrong
Why are we so
one.
far away?
It's so
Oh, there we
bad.
are.
I
Look, I
don't,
changed things because I podcasted by myself yesterday.
I don't
Wonderful.
remember what the what. That's not the right one. Maybe
Why
it's
did
this
y'all?
one.
There you go.
There it is.
There we
Got
go.
it.
Couldn't remember which one it was. Bam! Look at this amazing panel.
I
So today,
mean,
They
Come
understood
on.
the assignment, even color coordinated to make Pangina look like the star that she is.
Mm.
Period.
Lord.
This is a good looking panel. This is a good looking panel, y'all.
Is
I
she
don't
ever gonna
know.
miss? I don't think it's no. The answer is no.
Is she ever gonna miss? Not to
No.
me.
It's
Not
like
so far.
it's like almost a challenge to think about like, oh, what is her worst runway? Because
Yeah,
they're all
Lord.
so dang good.
so good. And I'm still I'm gonna say it. I say it every time I'm up here, and I'm gonna keep saying it. This is gonna be the best panel of the year for me. Like this entire panel, every week they comes correct. Like everybody knows the assignment and they get it, and it's good. I'm like,
Mhm.
yes, not mad at it.
The
I love it.
person in the suit with the shoulder pad, I'm living.
Girl.
Mm, mm.
Living with the shoulder pads. This lace
I
bottom
mean,
on this skirt on
Pangina,
the end. Oh.
she's the one that I'm excited to see what she's gonna wear every week.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
out of every queen host person coming on the runway this year, she's probably the one that I've become the most excited for.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, mm,
So good. Such a good group, such a good panel. But
mm.
we move to this oh, I love this panel. I don't know. You said it, Eduardo, you want to say it again?
Lord, hold on. Let me find it again because I had
Oh, you took it off. Okay. But
no.
this is
Wait,
what
hold on.
okay.
I'll find it. I'll find it. Hold on. I found it. I found it. Okay. Yet again, I apologize if I say it wrong. Thai people, I am sorry. Please don't come for me. Uh, the name of this soap opera is Ban Lak Luk Led Ron Lai Tan Lai Lun.
Now say that
Period.
5 times fast.
Ban Lak Luk Led Rod Led
Say it
Rod.
in
That
reverse,
we
backwards.
not say it
Lun
in
Lan
reverse.
Tai Lai Rod Led Luk Lak Ban. Ban Lak Luk Red Bon.
Now
Lord.
say it while
W-
rubbing
w-
your
No,
stomach and
stop.
patting your head.
We will
Ban
not.
Lak Luk.
We're not
Hold
gonna
on.
have Eduardo
Hold
doing
on.
that to himself. Not on this podcast.
La-
Eduardo, stop. Please, please. No.
You're embarrassing yourself.
No. They're making a fool of you today. No. Don't do it to him. No. No. But this is the looks. Let's go through it really quickly and what we thought about the performances and who stood out to you guys. David, I'll start with you. Not me.
Well,
Like
I
you're
was
not
prepared
ready.
to talk about them individually.
Go
yeah,
ahead, talk about them
I did
individually. Go
rank
ahead.
them as well.
Okay, I have a ranking too.
Just go ahead. Just do
Well,
it
then
quickly
first
though.
I'll talk about them in order that they came out. So
Period.
Benzadiva was the first one out. She looked very nervous right from the start. I think there was a character choice that she had, or like something in the script that did not help her, where she talks to her shoulder. And I didn't even realize that was something until like my second viewing. But every time she looked at her shoulder to talk, I'm like, what are you doing? But yeah, it was very clear Pangina was not feeling this because we kept getting shots of Pangina like, it was rough. It was rough. And it's weird because I thought she was the main character and she just kept fading and fading. And she never like got attention on her in the second half. Like she was just gone basically. For me, I think she was the weakest. I ranked her number 9.
Well, yeah, yeah. She definitely struggled the most out of everybody. I agree. I don't understand why she was constantly doing this. At first, I thought that she was nervous and she was trying to remember her words every time she did
Mm-hmm.
this. But then they talked about it like, why do you always talk to your shoulder? And then it never came up back like again. They never explained it why she did that. I thought she was gonna have like a demon or something in her shoulder.
I think his daddy does it too.
I did not notice Daddy doing it. So you know what?
Yeah.
It was rough. She was nervous. She like was struggling. They even showed at the very beginning that she really didn't know what she was saying. Like she didn't know the script, and that's a big no-no. You cannot like have in the final like product. They cannot see you fuck up, which we did see for Bensi. So she was my last place. She was my number 9.
Yeah, I agree with what y'all said. When the first time that she looked over her shoulder, I thought she was looking at her lines. I didn't
Same.
know it was a character choice. It didn't make sense. Um, she knew her lines mostly, I guess. Did she put any life into the script that she was given? I didn't see it. Um, yeah, it was. She was also unfortunately my least favorite in the challenge because I really like her, but for this, no.
Yeah. I felt like the script went over her head to me. It was like she was missing the joke. She was missing the punchlines. And so she didn't know how to deliver them well. And it was kind of just like, it's just, I don't know. It just lacked. That's it. It just lacked. She was the least of mine.
Mm. The next person out was Nane Safira, and she was Guy. Um, she was not a character with a ton of lines, but she was very present throughout. For me, she kept getting my focus. Like she would do all of these facial expressions. She was this petulant like person the whole time, and I kept being really drawn to whatever she was doing, even if she was in the background, even if she wasn't talking. I thought she was doing really well. And when I saw when I saw her on the stage at the during the judgment, I was like, oh yeah, she's definitely in the top. I really liked her. For me, I did my initial watch through. I put her number 2 overall. I on rewatch I did put her number 3 because somebody else has just an undeniable performance that does edge out everything she did. But she did exactly what a background person should do. Do things, find things that make you stand out and stay in character the whole time. She did that.
Yeah, I agree. When we saw who like the tops and bottoms of the week, I was like, "Oh, she's gonna be in the top because she did so well," and apparently she didn't, and I was really confused because I agree with you. I felt like I was constantly drawn to her. I felt like I was constantly like looking at her and looking at what she was doing, and constantly like finding little funny things that she was doing throughout the entirety, even when she wasn't speaking. And she like I just didn't understand like what they were saying by the fact that like I just did not understand the judges critiques. It was confusing to me because like for me she was my fourth. I thought she did really well. Was she my in my top three? No, but I thought she did really really well, so I was really confused as to why she was deemed as like low. It was weird.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I didn't enjoy her performance as much as y'all did, but I definitely didn't think that she had a performance and like bad enough to be in the bottom. Not at all. Like she really just came in the middle for me. Like she was just right in that middle. Didn't stand out in a good or bad way for me. Um, maybe I have to rewatch it because maybe I missed something or was paying attention to like the subtitles or something because my critique of her would be that she didn't do enough when she was not talking, but maybe she did and then I missed it because y'all mentioned the exact opposite that I noticed. So maybe it was when I was watching I didn't pay attention, but um after when we got to the end and we knew like the whole story and all of that, that's when I kind of thought like, oh, she could have done so much more with this character. Like throwing looks, like rolling her eyes, stealing stuff in the background, like just like I don't know. I feel like she did fine, but could have explored a lot more in this character.
I was muted. Um, um, I agree with mostly everything y'all said. I do think she was one of those characters in a TV show for me that, like you said, David, don't have all the lines, not always in the forefront, but knows how to make you watch them in the background, and you're like,
Unless you're
what are
ready.
they?
Right.
Like,
And
what
maybe
are
I
they?
was too focused on reading. I don't know.
Like, what
Probably.
are you doing back there? Like, I was just like, what is happening? Why, and I enjoy those characters, especially if they know how to do it right. It's a fine line between being a scene stealer for no reason and then just making sure the attention is on you for a good reason. And I think she was walking that very fine line, so it was good. I enjoyed her. She was perfectly good enough for me. Like, I thought she would either be in the top or safe. I didn't think being in the bottom was, necessary for her because I thought she did well enough.
Especially with the runway.
Right. So
Oh
I was
my
just like, I
god.
don't get it. I don't understand it. But she was like 4 for me.
And then next up we have Shotgun. This might be kind of a hot take for me, but I actually thought, based on the final product that we got, that Shotgun did fairly well. And there were times when it would cut to Pangina, like grimacing, and I'm like, wait, what's wrong with what I'm seeing here? So this felt like an example of me being told she was bad visually by Pangina's reaction more than letting me figure it out for myself. She had a lot of lines. She stayed in character. She delivered them in a believable way. So I thought she did well. I think most people did well. It is like once we did find out later on that there were like full sets of lines she did not deliver. Yeah, that's pretty unexcusable. But based on what we saw, it still felt cohesive. So for me, she was actually my number 6.
Okay, so this is not going to be a hot take because I also have Shotgun at my number 6.
Oh,
Because I thought that she did fine. Like, she didn't really stand out. Like, she had so many lines and was in so many scenes that, like, there were some mistakes here and there, sure. But I think taking into account the amount of time that she was there, for me, it was absolutely fine. As you said, she stayed in character and she just tried her best with like what she was given. And I also thought it was really funny that like the moments where I thought she was being funny, they showed Pangina being like grimacing, but then the moments that I found a little cringy were the moments that Pangina was laughing at, and I was just like, am I hello, am I missing something? Like, because I did not particularly find funny the, oh, I have the antidote in my panties, look, I am an old person that's wearing panties, and I'm just like, that's just an old person wearing panties, why is this funny? And Panjan is just like, oh my god, that's so funny. And so I'm like, hello, hello. But yeah, I thought Shotgun did perfectly fine. She would have been perfectly safe for me, so she was my number 6.
Yeah, definitely not a hot take because exactly that. The thing is, after we saw what the judges said about the lines, it does make sense. But what she delivered was good, I think, right? There is one note that I agree with the judges, but it kind of only clicked after they said it. And then I kind of thought about what I had just watched and I was like, yes. When they said that it kind of seemed like she was not interacting with the other characters. That she was kind of like saying her lines to herself, kind of like,
mm,
and it kind I did kind of feel that a little bit, not the whole time though, but in a few scenes that I did kind of see that. Um, but with the amount of lines that she had and the fact that okay, she missed lines, but she had a good characterization and she stayed in character the whole time. So like I get it, but I don't think she did bad. She would be perfectly safe for me if it wasn't for what we know.
right. Yeah, also like I think she had one of the bigger like physical transformations. At first I didn't know it was her. When I saw them practicing, I'm like, who is that? Oh, that's Shotgun. Um, but yeah, the next person we have is ZP. Um, one of the honestly one of the best acting performances I've seen on Drag Race. Period. Like instantly stealing the scenes. She she just knows how to like deliver on comedy, and I did not expect her to be as funny as she is. Like her facial expressions, overacting to the extreme in the best way. Like Saturday Night Live could take take notes from her. I just was so blown away by her. I remember the first couple of episodes. I'm like, this is Frankie's to lose. No, this is ZP's to lose because she is killing the competition. She was number one, stars, bullet, bold, underlined, number one, easily.
Exclamation point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I felt like throughout this entire thing, I just kept looking at two people, and then one person came in later, and I was just like, okay, I'm looking at three people now. So there were just two people that were just stealing the scene the entire time, and CP was one of them. CP was always stealing like the scene and was doing it like amazingly. She was so funny. She like overacted, but like when it comes to overacting, sometimes you can do it so much that it becomes uncomfortable. I don't think I think CP was still able to be funny and still be in character and still like make everything work. And so for me, CP was the best one. CP is my number one. I thought she did amazing. This character is super funny, and I thought the way that she did it was incredible. So yeah, like I was not expecting CP to be as funny as she is, but I am so happy that she is. And so I agree with you, David. This is now CP's to lose.
Period. And here's the thing. It was not just the acting, the overacting, the character, like everything, but then the physical comedy as well. Like in all, like in such a high level, it is like this is, to quote one of my favorite queens, this is wild. This is wild. CP is wild. I'm obsessed with her. And I think from the international franchises that I have watched, this was my favorite acting performance. Period. I think it kind of, I can't remember more from the US seasons, but like I can remember my favorite that is Bob on Empire. Like
Right.
that's it.
Cool.
That's the one for me. But here, she was a moment.
She was. And I think my favorite part, I think, of the whole thing was just her kind of going with something that happened. And it's when her shoe gets stuck in Godland.
Yes.
She's like, give me my shoe.
She was so in character. Like, it is like, oh my God, this bitch.
And I honestly think that being kind of glued to ZP really hurt her children. And I'm just going to talk about them together because their roles were so close to each other. But yeah, we do have Spicy Sunshine and Gigi Ferocious as her children. And they both were pretty, like, first of all, I will say their characters felt like they were just added on there to pad out the cast. So everybody had something because they are so inconsequential to everything that happens. And I think they delivered things in slightly deviating ways because you have Spicy, who's constantly trying to do things. She's talking a lot, but almost like there's people doing things in the background, but her things that she did in the background were distracting for me. Like she would be like she's talking to somebody and I'm like, okay, you don't do that. Like, sell it with your face. You don't have to pretend like you're talking, because that makes me like look for audio, like dialogue coming from you.
But I think she was doing that because of her being like the character being like paranoid. So maybe it was like talking to herself. For me, maybe, I don't know.
Maybe from the instance that I'm talking about, she was trying to talk to her mother. But also Gigi, for me, I think Gigi had a character choice to like make her character look kind of aloof and like not caring about anything. And it was just this the whole time. The problem is, if you're going to do that, it's so one note and it's already like a low key like vibe. So that just made Gigi really, really fade. I think Gigi was the person that stood out to me the least in this whole performance. For me, I didn't love either of these performances. Spicy was my number 7, and Gigi was my number 8. I was very surprised they were not in the bottom 3.
I understand that. I definitely do think that being connected to CP really screwed them over. But looking at my list, I would have only had one of them being in the bottom 3.
Oh, okay.
Because to me, at least, Spicy was trying to do something and had some characterization. Gigi was lost. Gigi disappeared. Gigi was not there. Gigi, do you think you were here? And also, my biggest thing, and this happens also in theater, you cannot constantly be facing away from who you are like presenting this product to. So like if you are on theater, you cannot be facing away from your audience. If you are filming something, you cannot be facing away that much from the camera. And 90% of what Gigi was doing, she was here. So honestly, I don't know what she was doing with her life because she was here 90% of the time and I was not living. So, that's pretty bad. But I found myself asking, what do I think is worse? Being forgettable or being remembered for doing badly? And I think it is worse to be remembered for doing badly than being forgettable. So that's why for me, Spicy was 5th and Gigi was 7th.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Wow,
I
I was just gonna say I'm very curious who the other person in your bottom 2 was. But we'll find out.
Well, no, yeah, actually, I feel like I know who it is, and it's mine as well.
I have a hot take.
Here's the thing. I understood Spicy's character. Even was it the biggest? Was it the funniest? No. Was it memorable? No. But did it have something to like? Did it have a reason, a personality, anything? Yes. And she was trying, at least. Did it work? No. But she put an effort into creating a character, being in character, and even though I didn't necessarily enjoy the performance, effort should be rewarded, I think. To a certain degree. And Gigi, maybe she did put in effort, it just did not translate at all. It just didn't. If she did, we didn't see it. If she tried to do a aloof character, whatever, I mean, sure. But she was there, but barely. So yeah, I think Gigi would be number 8 maybe for me, and then Spicy number 6 because like she tried, and it's what, it is what it is.
Lana, I'm not going to expect you to catch up on all the people we've talked about, but do you have thoughts on ZP at least? Like, I want to hear your thoughts on ZP.
ZP was fine to me. She was good to me. I enjoyed her character. I thought she put the effort into trying to make the character into something, and it was memorable. I'll say that. I remembered her character. She was one of the few that I was like, okay, yeah, I remember her character out of like everybody. I thought she was like one of the best ones. I would have put her at like 3 or 2.
Oh, really? Okay. We all put her number 1 by quite a bit.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, because for me, I liked the daddy character. I thought that character coming in breezed in a moment that needed to be something else to happen. It was like drawn out very much, and it was like we saw ZP's character and everybody's character doing, and it kind of drew out for me. I thought this was a long production, but it kind of drew out, and so when the daddy character came in, it was like, oh, okay. And I liked the characteristics that Frankie put into the daddy character and the different, the whoa, like very overacting. So I enjoyed that one. I think I enjoyed it for the timing and where it was placed and how they performed it. But I thought that was like number one for me, and NCP was like number two.
Okay.
Can we just ask production, please, to stop doing acting challenges with too many girls? Just please,
yeah.
Yeah,
please,
it's
for
so
the love of God, like
long.
7 at the most. 7.
And it gets confusing and
It's,
muddled and a lot of stuff that's
it's not
happening
enough
at one
time
time.
or anything to like create an interesting character. Like it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Or maybe if they want to do that, they can do like I said, Empire. Remember they did 2.
Right. To
So like if
yeah.
they want to do that, like would work. But
Or like
one
the
scene with 9 people, no.
whatever happened to Merle Ginsburg. I thought that was
Exactly,
a good
like
way to do it, like
separate.
3 different
Yeah.
Hmm.
perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but you segued us very well into Frankie. Frankie was the next one out. Yeah, I thought Frankie was really good. Had all the physical comedy down, facial expression for days. Like, and this was the one that on rewatch, I was like, I liked Frankie, but I didn't catch everything Frankie was doing because he was or she was always on and just delivering a very strong and like a very strong performance, and I was very impressed. So Frankie was my number 2.
I mean, the entire soap opera revolved around Daddy. So the person that had to be Daddy had to really step up to the plate and do an amazing job. And I think Frankie delivered. She delivered exactly what we needed to see. These facial expressions, the like going over CP to talk to his first to her fiance. I thought that was really funny. All of like the physical comedy was really really good, and I think the delivery of the lines were great. And I think everything was there, everything was good. She was high up there for me. She was my number 2. I think Frankie did a really really good job.
Yeah, I agree. She was my second standout, my second favorite for sure. And she made an impact as like the moment she came in the scene. She just shifted the energy in the room, and her energy was felt necessary in that moment. Like you said, Lana, I did feel that as well. And it wouldn't have been the same without her. Like it would not be as good without this character in the way that she played this character. And her and CP, they worked together so well. Because that's the thing, like they did great individually, but also they really worked so great together. It was so good.
Yeah.
And next up, we had Godlin coming in. She's the new girl for Daddy, and immediately she had really big energy. She was delivering at 10, and I really liked how she just committed with it. Like she stuck with that the whole time. She had a lot of really funny moments. Like I think the funniest part was when she was explaining like my aunts, cousins, neighbors, aunts. What, and she had to repeat that 3 full times.
Mm-hmm.
And she did it every time. But I will say, like, just another credit for ZP is like every time she would do that, ZP would be like, "What?" And she just like would just bring all the attention back to her. And that's what I really enjoyed about this challenge was just seeing these two in particular really feed off of each other's energy. The only thing I will say about Godlin is maybe sometimes her energy was a little unbridled and a little untamed and manic. I still just really appreciate the commitment, but for me, she just missed out on my top 3, and I had her number 4.
That's very fair. Yeah, my only criticism that I can really give Gotlin is the fact that she was sometimes too loud and it became a little bit overwhelming. But other than that, she was really funny. I was really living for this character, as you said, David. Like she came in like with a plan for her character and she stuck with it, and it worked really well. It was a nice change of pace because I felt like this this acting challenge was really long and it started to drag around this moment, so I was starting to get bored. And once Gotland came in, it felt like we had something interesting again. Like, okay, now like we have even more energy. Like we don't have to rely solely on CP and Frankie. Now we also have Gotland here to bring us something interesting and something funny. I thought she did a really good job, and she was consistently funny. And like it's really hard to come in late into a scene and really like steal the show. And Gotland did that and did that to a T. So I think Gotland was my number 3.
Yeah, she was also my number 3. I think she was the third standout. And similar to Frankie, like not in the not in the same level, but to a certain degree. Also, when she came in, she changed the energy and she made an impact immediately. Um, I think my only thing with Godlin's performance is that I wish it had levels. I don't mind how high she went, or like how high, like I don't mind the screaming, all that. I don't mind that. I wish it had other levels to the performance with those extremes to balance it out. But other than that, really great. Wasn't expecting it at all.
Now I know what Logan feels like because that was exactly what I was about to say. I was just gonna say that. Yes, that was my only thing. I wanted her to have levels. I needed Gotland to have levels in the performance because she just came in and she was on 100 from the gate, and it stayed to 100. And if it did go down, it went to 99. Like it was 199, 199. I wanted to get down to 70 at least for some points, and then bring it back up to 80. Then go back up to 100. It was just like I would have thought while she was doing that long list of who she was related to, I would have at least like dropped it down at least to like a 60 at one point. Like I'm related to my aunt's, my aunt's cousin's dog, relative, friend, da da da. And then we said, what? My aunt's cousin, relative, friend, neighbor, cat, so and so. And it was it again. My cousin's like 3 different levels of frustration of why I have to keep saying this over and over again. She just gave us the same level every time. And I was like, oh, I wanted something different. But I thought she was very entertaining when she was there. I enjoyed her. I wanted, and even when she realized that the person she was being rude to at first was the mother-in-law, or the mother, I wanted her to be like, I'm so sorry. Like a little bit of, oh my God, like I'm so embarrassed. I just talked to your mother like this, and it's my fiance. Like it was like, oh, Mom, I'm so sorry. It was just, I don't know, it just didn't do it. But I thought she was refreshing throughout the parts that she was in. So I enjoyed her. I just wanted levels. But she was probably my third too. Maybe. Yeah, probably. I didn't write it down.
That's fair. And then the last person we have is CM. And I felt for her because she had a character that was not in this a lot. She shows up at the end, and then half of the time we do see her, she's standing there with her eyes closed in a position. So I think that she did the most she could with her character. And this was one that I appreciated more on the second viewing. First of all, I will say when they do open up the thing and you see her standing there, just her pose was enough to kind of make me chuckle because it wasn't just a normal person standing pose. It was more of like a sexy, like standing to the side pose. I'm like, why is her mouth like that? Because she was like, and then I figured it out. It's because she obviously had some liquid just sitting in her mouth for a while, just waiting to spit it out. And like, I'm glad that was not on my face because that would roast me out.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, sorry.
But I think what she did well is she really sold things with her face. She had really good facial expressions. She had really good like movements with her lips too. Like there were specific things she did with her lips that like was like, okay, that's really catching my eye. Like I can't even do it. My lips don't work that way.
Which ones?
But oh, which lips?
Ooh, see, stop it.
Look, I'm too pure for this right now. I'm too pure. But
pussy
for
check.
me, yes, pussy check, boobs check. I do think CM did well. For me, she was perfectly safe. not anybody I would fathom would be in the top. I had her number 5.
This might be my hot take. I did not care for anything Siam was doing or at all. I did not like it or at all. I thought the only moments that she had that were funny were just like physical moments at the very beginning where she was dead, and after that she was not funny ever. And so that's a really big problem. And it's also a really big problem that when you have your big scene or you like big moment when you're like, oh my god, I am alive, I am back, that your stealing is getting stolen by everyone else. Like, I cannot be thinking that your scene is going on too long and that you're not the main person in it. And that unfortunately was the case for Siam, because like after she spit out the whole like the liquid that she had in her mouth, I was more looking at CP, I was looking at Frankie, I was looking at Nani, I was looking at everyone else except for Siam, who was in the middle just standing there looking confused. And like I felt like there was so much that she could have done with this, and like she could have just taken it a different place or something. I don't know. It was just wasn't funny for me ever, and it might just be the fault of the actual character itself. Like the character itself might just not be funny for me at all. So that might also just be the problem. But for me, Siam was just incredibly forgettable, incredibly boring, and that's not something I want in something like this. So unfortunately for me, Siam was my number 8.
I do want to say in her defense, she is the only person in this cast who did not get a grouping that was smaller than the entire cast, like the entire remaining cast. So yes, she had to compete against a lot of people who were scene stealers, which was unfortunate for her. But I did notice her too. So,
Yeah.
but
my thing is that Godlin also came in late
Yeah.
and into the same like scenario in which she was surrounded by scene stealers,
And
she
it's
was
her
still
character,
able
too.
to like
Exactly.
steal the scene. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's, as I said, it could just be the character that, and if that's the case, that's unfortunate. But for me, yeah, just it didn't work.
I agree totally. It's just I think it was truly an adding of many factors that didn't add to something positive for her. I don't think. I think it's partially the writing of this character that is lacking a little. The fact that this skit went on so long that by the time her character came in, I was like, can this please be over, please? And I was kind of like, okay. So because it was kind of dragged out until she got there, I was kind of like, when she came in, I was like, okay, give me something. And then she gave me something, right? Like, was it bad? I don't think so. Was it boring? Yes. Right? I think she knew her lines. She did try to do something with this character. She wasn't just flat. Uh just the choice that she made into where she wanted to take this character, I didn't quite enjoy. Or understand really the essence of the character, besides being the first wife. Like who is she? What is Why is she there? Like, I don't know. And I don't think it's necessarily her fault, because this late it's hard to establish a good character. But she would be in the bottom for me, not lip syncing, but she would be my bottom 3.
I do want to just throw this challenge out for both of you on the bottom. I would like to see
On the
you.
bottom.
Yes, on the bottom. I would like to
Oh,
see
wow.
both of you go in a poison-induced coma for 18 years and then see how much energy you have immediately after coming out of that coma.
I think I
Probably
could
more than I
have
have right
more
now,
energy
because
than
it's not much.
yeah. I think sleeping for 18 years would give me energy, actually.
Oh, fair, actually. I
I've-
could use that.
I
Honestly,
need 18 years of sleep would be nice.
At least 4 years.
like I said, I don't think
Please.
it was
Period.
her fault,
Please.
100%, the performance. But
Yeah. Look here.
mm-mm.
This is the thing. I don't want it to be realistic. I don't want you to come out the 18-year coma on a television show and be like, I don't know what to No, I don't want
I
realistic
was
homeless.
joking for the record.
I
You
know
know what I
you
wanted
were.
it to
I
be?
know
That like
you
she was
were.
frozen, whatever, in the middle of a fight or something, and when she woke up, she was like continuing an argument that she was having before, like
That would have been
something,
actually really funny.
something,
Right. I'm
right?
like, right. It was something else. It just felt a little flat to me. I do agree with you, River. It was. I wish she would have fleshed out her character a little bit more, so she would have had some sort of understanding of what she wanted to do with her. It just felt like, oh, I'm the first wife, and what's happening? What did I miss? And it was kind of like it should
Sleeping
have been
Beauty, kind of.
right. It should have been something that we were like, oh, okay, why did daddy fall in love with her in the first place? Why was she his first love? And it should have been something between her and him and be like, I think it's a mix of the writing. I think it's a mix of not understanding the character and then a mix of it was just way too long. So by the time she came out, everybody was over the whole thing in the first place. So I think all of that played a part into why this wasn't as successful as it probably could have been. But I think she did the best she could with what she had. And it is what it is. I would probably have her in my bottom three as well, but she wouldn't have went home. She
Right.
wouldn't have been in the lip sync.
I did for sure think she was in the bottom three based on the 6 people left on the stage. I was
Uh-huh.
like, okay,
Me
yeah.
too. Me too. Me
Oh,
too.
yeah.
But yeah.
Even the critiques they
Mhm.
gave her weren't that great.
No, I
This
was
is
so
the first time that I
confused.
didn't. Well, I don't know if it's the first time, but like this is a time that I was like, what the what
like
Yeah,
what?
Thailand?
yeah, like they
Because like
gave her the
there are some
critiques.
things that are debatable, but this, mm-mm.
Yeah,
Well,
because they gave
but
her the critiques, and I was like, okay, so she's low. She's placing low because like
Hmm.
the critiques that they gave her were not good. So I was just like, okay, she's low. That means that
right.
Nani is gonna be like high. And then we
Hi.
got to Nani, and she got all like very similar critiques, and I was like,
He said her character was flat. I didn't feel like her character was flat.
I was so
No, I didn't think it was
confused.
flat.
I was
It
so
was wild.
confused.
But we'll talk because we'll y'all yeah, I know y'all want to hear what we talk about for the looks, but you know what you got to do. Go to look over here and
Mhm.
we'll talk about it over there. But right now we're going to go right into the results because we do have our top 3. Our top 3 was Frankie Wonga, Siam Pusri, and CP. Very shocked about Siam. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie. I thought she was in the bottom. We just said that. I thought she
Mhm.
was in the bottom, but I was like, oh, especially because they was what they said about her character and her runway. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, she's definitely in the bottom. She's probably in the bottom, but she wasn't, and I was so confused. I was like, what?
I think it's just because she has not been getting a lot of critiques lately. Like she's been safe a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they just wanted to have her out there. And maybe they're like, if you're close enough to the top, we'll put you in the top. But
That's so
But
wild
was
to me.
she
But
close?
what was she
yeah. Well, she.
Anyway,
apparently.
anyway?
I
But
mean, sure. Maybe
but
we
the
missed
win
something.
we
Who knows?
missed something. I don't know. It's not for us. But the winner this week was CP. I said deserved. She kind of ate.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of ate
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
this week up. So not mad at that at all. But then we do have a bottom 3, which was Benzadiva, Nani Safira, and Shortgun. And I was like, Nani with that runway? And I thought her character and her was good. Like what? Didn't understand it. Didn't understand it.
Mhm.
But they didn't put in the bottom 2, which was Benzadiva and Shortgun.
I'll
So
be honest about this. It kind of just feels like they're ready for Shotgun to go.
yep,
Yep.
Like
Yeah,
yep.
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
have to do something to really impress us, or your time is out because you've been in the bottom 2 of the 3 previous weeks. So I think Shotgun just really had to like be mind-blowingly good to survive this week.
And I
yeah.
mean,
I-
I don't think with the way with the like I didn't think her character was that bad. And her runway was pretty decent, was good. Actually, I really liked
Yep,
it.
it was probably her
But I
best
felt
runway.
like I really did. But we'll talk about that. But I felt like I agree. They were just like, she got to go. and it was her time to go, and they will go figure out any reason for her to go. So we don't like your character, and we don't like your shoes. So I'm like,
I
They
mean, the
weren't good
shoes. I
shoes.
mean, sure, but
Like
come
it
on,
just
come on.
come on.
yeah, like I came into this episode being like, oh, I think my guess is that Shotgun is gonna go home, and then like everything started happening, and I was like, okay, so yeah, I'm right. Shotgun is gonna go home, and
And
like
here, wait, when we get into the, let's get into the lip sync because did
Shotgun won the
Shotgun
lip
deserve
sync.
to go home?
Shotgun
Did Shotgun,
for
did
me,
Wait,
Shotgun
for me,
deserve to
for
go
no, wait a
home?
me,
minute.
Shotgun won the lip
No.
sync. For me, Shotgun won the lip sync. I
Hmm.
felt like both of them were pretty low energy. I will say that. I felt like this lip sync was not particularly good. Neither of them really knew the words, but I won't really blame them because English is not their first language, and like I'm not really gonna hold that against them that much. But they were both really low energy, especially compared to a song like this. And I felt like Shotgun was the only one that was giving me a little bit more.
Hmm.
For me, Shotgun won this lip sync,
Okay.
but neither of them were good. I was like, this could be a double sachet, and I would not be surprised.
See, for me, I think the winner of the lip sync was RuPaul because
Oh.
she got money from them playing her song. And for some reason, they're like, okay, we're going to play the extended version. We're going to play the super long, extra long version of the song that's never been released before. We're going to watch a 10-minute lip sync, and we're going to watch both of these queens slowly tire themselves out and start off with energy. And then by the end, neither of them can hardly do anything. This lip sync felt like the longest lip sync I've ever watched. And
Mm-hmm.
I do think that there were some good moments, but then it just got repetitive because there's only so much you can do with a song. And if you're going to
With the
play the full
extended
4
version of the
minutes,
song.
yeah, it's just wild that it went on that long. For me though, I do think Benzadiva had bigger pops, like bigger shining moments, like
You mean
especially
popping out of a hat?
yes,
Popping out of the hat.
that was a big pop because we got to
Yes.
see a really cool, like she had a really cool look underneath, and
Mm-hmm.
we got to see like moves that she could do that I didn't know she could do. Like she did splits, she was pulling her legs up everywhere. She was like Liza Minnelli in Drag Race UK, except the legs stayed on. But yeah, for me, I do think Benzadiva won the lip sync, but I think it I think they did both of the queens a disservice by letting it go on so long.
Agreed.
Yes.
River, what did you
It
think?
was. I think it was underwhelming on both parts. Um, Neither of them really knew the words, but Shotgun had a harder time hiding it. I think. I don't know who knew last words, but Shotgun I felt like she had a hard time hiding the fact
She
that she
told
didn't
us
know the
she
words.
didn't prepare.
I think
Yes.
because
I,
they
I
showed
actually
her.
noticed Benzi messing up her words more.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. But like I said, neither of them knew the words. We are never gonna know because the edit that we got is the edit that we got. So maybe we will never know. But neither of them knew the words. We could tell. I feel like Shotgun had more fire in her. Like I could tell that she was putting in more fire and effort and like heart into her performance. Did I enjoy it necessarily? Not really. But like I enjoyed Benz's performance and moves more, but I liked the fire behind Shotgun's eyes. So to me, because it was so underwhelming, I would have been fine with either result, honestly. Um, and I want to see more from both of them, so I would be upset with either of them going home. So like to me, could have gone either way easily.
Yeah, I kind of I think we saw more of Shotgun messing up because of the way they showed it and edited it. But I think the energy we got from Benza, which kind of surprised me because I thought she would be someone to give us a little bit more because this is, she once she popped out the hat, I was like, okay, here she go. Now she got movement. She can move around and do some things. And she kind of just She went from popping out the hat and giving it something and kicking and splitting. Then, like you said, David, since they wanted to play the 4 minute full version of the song, it went from everything to just okay. Now I'm just gonna do a little 2 step here and then I'm gonna do raise my hand, a little bit of this and a little bit of twirly whirl, and then I'm gonna turn
The
around and I'm gonna
Macarena, like
right.
do the slide.
I'm gonna shake and shimmy a little bit, then I'm gonna be done with it. And it just felt like that. I felt like Shotgun went through the same thing, like energy at the beginning and loss of energy at the end. But at the end, I felt like she kind of it was like it was broke down in 3 parts since this song was so long. Usually lip syncs are in 2 parts, the first half and the second half. This was 3 halves, and it was 3 parts to this. It was like the first part they were both energy. The second part I thought Benza kind of showed her stuff and gave us the moves. And in the third part, Shogun ended it better than Benzi did. And so it's kind of like, how do you judge it? Do I judge? They both a double sachet would have been perfectly fine with me, but
welcome back, Karamite.
Right.
Honestly, that would have been iconic.
That would have been sick. But
hello, how quickly can you get here?
Could you come back tonight? Okay. She at the hotel. She ain't going nowhere. But I think like they could have had really just I would have placed it on who finished best because they were so steady together throughout the whole thing. So it's like it's how they're saying it's not how you start but how you finish. And I think Shogun finished it better. Shotgun, not Shogun. Shotgun.
I noticed you've been calling her Shogun. I'm like, I
only called her a couple times.
Yeah,
but
just twice.
Just a couple. Shotgun. I thought she finished better for me. But either way, it was what it was. But that's not our opinion. Doesn't matter because it's what the judges thought, and the judges, like we said, I think they were just trying to get rid of Shotgun. I think it was just her time, and they wanted her gone. And so Shotgun is eliminated, and I'm sad about it.
I'm sad, but I will say, just knowing that you could tell that the judges were kind of done with her, I think this is the best scenario to just put her out of her misery, let her come back for All Stars, because I do think Benzadiva has potential for highs in the competition. Yeah. She's had highs already, so I do think that I would not be surprised if next week she's back. She's back again.
Back.
But yeah,
back again.
And with Shotgun, like we've talked about it before, I just knowing how like how new she is to all of this. Like I just think she is somebody who will have so much potential for a future season. Absolutely. And I really do hope they give her a chance for an all-star season. I think she could be really incredible.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
I feel like if she had waited.
I hope they don't give her an April Carry-On situation in which they say, I'm going to be on All Stars, and then just never appear on All Stars. So I hope that her declaring it to the world in front of cameras was not her like April Carry-Oning herself.
Right. Yeah, I just feel like I am happy that I know Shotgun now, but I kind of do wish that she would have waited maybe another year, like just another year, honestly, to kind of not fully, but cook a little bit more, a little bit more fully baked.
Absolutely.
Before because I feel like if she had, she would have had potential to go farther, I think. But I do honestly truly hope that she comes back to our screens anytime.
Yes, absolutely. Well, David, I hope you're ready.
Because you know me, I'm definitely ready.
Werk.
Definitely thinking about this.
I know.
I do have it up now. So for the draft, things are looking interesting. So Brandon is in 5th place with 23.5 points. I have now lost 2 people. So I am in 4th place with 28 points. Lana took a bit of a hit here. You are now in 3rd place with 38 points. Eduardo is number 2 with 40.5 points. And Logan is in number 1 with 41 points. So only half a point there.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, this short gun took me out. I was like, no,
Mm.
no. But it is what it is. And everybody
Yeah, I
else I
had
had was
Nani and
safe.
Benson.
Well, Frankie was at the top, but she didn't win. I need her to win. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It is what it is, y'all. That's it. We talked about it. We talked about all we could talk about in the recap. But what we will talk about next is some looks. So you might want to stick around and, well, check us out on our Look Over Here episode where we'll give you all of our thoughts and scores for this runway. Hopefully it'll be shorter than this hour and 30 minutes of talking that we did. Who knows? It might not be. And it's fine, whatever way it happens. It is what it is. But we'll be back next week to talk about episode 5 of Drag Race Thailand. And y'all know what to do. Hit the subscribe button on your way out. Hit the links to all of our other YouTube channels, our audio podcast channel, our audio podcast link, not channel, audio podcast links, our Patreon to get early access and exclusive content, and our merch at lanag'screations.etsy.com. You can follow us on all of our socials at The Cut Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can follow us if you want on our socials as well. And we're going to get out of here because we got more stuff to talk about. So we'll see y'all next time around. And cheers.
Go forth and
Cheers.
do.
Go forth and do.